Alors, Madame Steyer.
T'as réussi. Vous êtes blâmé la garde? Je sais pas. Mais t'as pas compris qu'ils ont pas du tout envie de s'en occuper?
Énergie, moi.
On va avoir un enfant, en fait. Un enfant qui va être là tout le temps.
So basically, if you all don't know, the movie is called Love Letters. It is set in 2014 France, shortly after the legalization of the same-sex marriage. The story focuses on Celine and her wife Nadia. Nadia is 3 months away from giving birth to their first child together, basically conceived via IVF in Denmark. So that is the whole plot and how they are going to deal with basically becoming new parents and also being parents for the first time, while they also have to deal with a whole lot of other situations. But before we get into further details and discuss a little bit more, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Since Nadia is the gestational mother, she is automatically recognized by the state to be legally recognized as a parent, in this case Celine. She must undergo a second parent adoption process under the Taubira law. So more of the story, they have to be married first and foremost. So that is one of the reasons why they have decided to get married, is because they wanted to have a kid together. But only way that the kid can be recognized by both as both being legally, parental rights, they had to be married. So they got married. So after they got married, now there's a new law called Taburia law, which basically they have to go through another adoption process in order to also, make their, legalization when it comes to parenting more official. So that's basically the whole plot of the movie, as you see how they are going through this process of them trying to basically figure out how the adoption process will go. It basically will take a really, really long time, basically like from 8 months to 18 months for them, to get, basically, how can I say, recognized officially. But during that whole process, the process forces Celine to reconnect with her estranged mother, Margaret, a world-renowned pianist. The strange relationship highlights Celine's inner fears about her own ability to be a good mother because of everything that she went through with her own mother, because her and her mother, they have a very difficult relationship, as it has been shown throughout the movie. You can just basically see that they have a very difficult time when it comes to ways, because Celine, she feels like her mother wasn't the best mother. So she's kind of afraid that she will not be able to step up for their child, the way, in a way, that she feels like she can. So you can basically see them going through a lot of doubt, a lot of uncertainties, and also their friends have kids, and just their friends also telling them how they are as new parents and how difficult it is and how exhausting it is and how it changes a lot, your relationship. So they just dealing with a lot of fear. On the other hand, we also have Nadia, who is pregnant. She's going through a lot of hormones changes. She's going through a lot of emotions, but she definitely does love, in this case, they do love each other a lot. So they kind of do find balance in making this relationship work, even though it's very difficult because, like I said, it's the first time them being parents. They just, decided to go on this journey mainly because Nadia, she's 37 years old, and she felt like it was time for her to basically have a kid. And obviously her being with, in this case, in a relationship with Celine, it just make it perfect for them just to make it happen. So more of the story, to make a very long story short, is about a couple that comes together that wants to build a family, but they don't realize how difficult it will be once they are already in the process, because each of them are dealing with a lot. Like I told you all, Celine, she has a lot of problems with her mother. She's trying to fix her relationship with her mother because she also needs her mother to help her out with letters and also to help, the adoption process. So they need to get a lot of reference letters, from different, members of the family in order to, to basically go through this process. So she kind of is there for her mother, but she's also there for her mother because she needs her mother, and her mother knows that. But I just feel like she found a very good balance on how to be like, I'm here for you, but I also need this from you without making her mother feels like she's only there for a reason, because you can dearly see that she wants to be and build a better relationship with her mother, but it was very complicated. On the other hand, Nadia also has a lot of issues with her family. You can basically see that her family didn't really accept her relationship with Celine at the beginning. They were struggling with basically accepting her for who she is and who she wants to be. But later on, as time went by, you can see that her family got to know Nadia, and later on, officially, when they made the relationship official, there's where their family started to accept her a little more, even though they were still struggling. And you can see that somewhere, somehow, Nadia still holds grudges against her family for not accepting her relationship, or just accepting the fact that she loves, likes, or her preference is women in this case. So she also has her own situations going on, and Celine gets mad at her because she doesn't want, Nadia to do upset her family, because they also need, in this case, Nadia's family to do references later in order for them to go through the process of adopting. So that's more or less the dynamic, but you can basically see that once their kid arrived, once they knew that the time was coming and the clock was ticking, you can just see that they got so nervous. They started to, basically go through a lot of emotions, crying, not knowing if they're gonna be good parents, having insecurities, not knowing if they would be ready for it, but they knew that there was no turn back. It is what it is, and they would just have to figure it out, together and along the way, because they also didn't want to lose their relationship and their love for each other, knowing or having doubts that they would be good parents. So basically, what I want to say is at the end, Celine, she finally could, I won't say solve her relationship with her mother, but she and her mother, they could somewhere, somehow find a common ground. And obviously, her mother wrote this beautiful letter before she went off to her world tour. So basically, it's just say that, in this case, Celine, she would be a way better mom than what she was. And that she feel like Celine, she would basically take care of the kid and be a better mother. On the other hand, you can also see when Nadia saw, in this case, Celine holding their baby in her hand for the first time. You can just see that's the moment that she realized that this is it. We made it. We're gonna make through it. And it was just, in moral of the story, a beautiful movie with a beautiful ending about two women that's gonna be parents for the first time, that have a lot of uncertainty if they're gonna be able to handle the pressure, if they will be able to be good mothers, and still, not lose themselves along the process. So, and also at the same time that they have to struggle to figure out their own personal issues when it comes to their families as well. So it's a very good parental movie about, like I said, about just wanting to have a family with somebody. And you guys know it's gonna be difficult because of everything that you guys have going on. One of them, in this case, Nadia, she is a dentist, and on the other side, we have Celine. She also works with music. She's like a music sound type of engineer, and she's also a DJ. So there's a couple of different dynamics that we have going on when it comes to their story. This one is available to watch on Mubi and other streaming platforms as well. But I will definitely rate this movie a strong 9 out of a 10. It's a true lesbian movie that I've been waiting to watch for a really long time. And it 100 trillion percent didn't disappoint me at all. It definitely delivered in every single aspect. So if y'all wanna watch it, I will highly recommend you all to do so. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, because feedback does matter. Hope you all have enjoyed this one, and goodbye.